Hi, everybody. We are back. Adjust the mic here. All right, so I think we can just jump right to it. Let's get my second screen up. Thanks, Kate. That's art by Morbid Spade, who does a lot of the channel art, and you could get it on a shirt in the shop at Fourth Wall. Let's see, where is the... Stella is prone to screwing you over in that encounter, yeah. She's, I mean, what people don't understand is that she's not accusing you of this, but what a lot of players don't understand is that she's her own person and doesn't just fall in line with what you say, and her stakes in the situation are possibly even higher than the players, although I suppose the player is the one at risk in that situation. Let me just fix something. There we go. All right, I think we're ready now. Ginger's eating shrimp. Every once in a while I just compulsively read a chat message and I just, like, that's nothing. Why am I telling the chat that somebody's eating shrimp? Okay, so we need a name. Our name is gonna be... We need another comically it's like a comically southern name. Let's go Valeria. That's a name that is used in Book of the New Sun. If we call ourselves Worm, then everyone's gonna be calling us Worm, and it's gonna sound like they're being mean to us. Today we can be from Boston, because that's where a lot of Cataclysm stuff takes place, and I've been working on Cataclysm. Gonna be girl. So last time we were a non-binary person. So this used to have a thing on it that said the gender has no effect on the game. That is now not the case. It still has a very minor effect, but if you start dating a character, they might mention your gender and say that they either have or haven't been with that gender before. And I know, at least for if you're they, them, I was trying to get it and I couldn't. If you really, really piss Tabitha off and you're they them, then at a point when the police show up, I believe, she says they, but puts quotes around it. It's just like the most subtle but like terrible barb that she could throw in that moment. It's it's very well done. We're not gonna be Skull Taker. You guys. We have to be normal. Being normal in Scarlet Hollow. I kind of wonder if you know the story of the game, I kind of wonder if this will actually matter more, like down the line, because one of the problems the Scarlet family is facing is that there are no more heirs. We and Tabby are it, and Tabby can't have kids, so maybe there's It is a very, very weak insult from Tabitha. It's so in that scene, that's the chapter 5 scene where she's you're in her office. In that scene, she is very threatening, but she's in a very weak position. She doesn't want to be doing what she's doing. Even if she like hates your guts, she's not doing the thing that she wants to do, like with her life, like in general. So if you read her interactions like that, especially if Stella's there, it's really sad. Like she's kind of queuing up to do this terrible thing and just grasping for any. She starts like pulling all these like kind of cruel lines, especially if she doesn't really like you, and you can tell it's her doing it, but it's like not her. Like she's almost channeling her mother or something, and it's very sad seeing somebody like be destroyed by performative cruelty like that. So we said we were going to go Book Smart and Keen Eye because we haven't seen either of those. We've done all other things except Powerful Build. Powerful Build's fun, but I recommend you do it in your own time. Powerful Build and Hot is a very silly run. I'm trying to take the story seriously. You jolt awake as the bus hits a particularly nasty bump. You feel like you'd only just managed to start drifting off, and now here you are awake again, and still exhausted. For a moment, you're hazy on the details of exactly where here is, confusing this bus with the many others that came before it. But as your mindfolk continues to reassert its existence in the waking world, the past few days come into focus. The long-lost cousin, the bad news, the 26 hours of bus rides with countless late-night stops and seedy depots that would have felt unsafe even in the middle of the day. You wouldn't normally find yourself traveling like this, but your cousin bought the tickets. Ruben, I think we should not be doing that kind of thing in chat. Fortunately, the end of your long journey is in sight. You're almost in Scarlet Hollow. So anyway, as I was saying... Oh no, he's still here. He's been sitting next to you for the past 5 hours, talking at you without pause. You're not even sure he stopped when you started to doze off. At first you thought he was just being friendly, but that was several hours of one-sided conversation ago. I was up in Maryland looking for work, but mostly messing around because I was a dumb teen. Me and my buddies were doing our usual prank stuff, you know, pushing joggers into the harbor, that sort of thing. Let me, wait, what? Yeah, you know, teen stuff. So this girl comes up to us, swinging her purse, yelling about how she was going to call the cops or whatever. It was hilarious. She actually hit my friend and he said it hurt a lot, so I guess she really was mad, not just playing. But she kept swinging, and soon enough she lost her balance and fell into the harbor all on her own. We didn't even have to push her. We had a good laugh and fished her out, and her phone got soaked so she couldn't call the cops on us. We wound up hanging out all day. She kind of became my girlfriend after that. We've been on and off for about a year, so it's pretty serious. Though about 5 months ago she tried to break up with me, like for real, and geez, you ever get so mad you just want to kill somebody? Why are you telling me this? You don't know me. Yeah, and you don't know me. That's the miracle of bus rides. We're never gonna see each other again, so we don't need to hide who we are. This right here is a closer relationship than most people will ever have. Oh my god, look at his eyes. Oh, who am I kidding? Maybe we will see each other again. Anyways, you're young. You'll get it when somebody tries to break your heart one day. It changes a person. Makes them think things they never thought they could. Did I make the joke that this guy could turn out to be Kane, like the bus driver, or like the taxi driver in Bloodlines? I honestly could have killed that woman. Anyway, she's giving birth to our son right now, so I'm trying to get up to Virginia to be there for it. But I don't know if I'm like into that stuff, so I might just wind up on a bus to New York or something instead. I've always wanted to go there. So keen eye is one of our traits, and it's not just the ability. It's not just like good perception. It's also good empathy. So keen eye. Do you love her enough to make this work, or book smart is have you thought about seeing a therapist? Let's try keen eye. I've never seen this one. You were so worked up by the thought of losing her that you threatened to kill her, but now that she's giving birth to a child you created together, you're planning on running off? Even if you love her, think about whether that love is strong enough that you'd be able to handle raising a kid together. Think about how your actions are going to impact his life. Think about how your actions are going to impact his life and whether removing yourself will be better for him in the long run. Yeah, good stuff to think about. Anyway, where'd you say we're headed? Just a small town. You probably haven't heard of it. That's probably Scarlet Hollow, right? Or the Holler, as they call it in these parts. That's the only other stop until this bus turns around. I ride it pretty often, so I'd know. Almost nobody ever goes up that way. Though, actually... I had a couple of buddies who went up there to work in the mine. There's a coal mine up in the Holler, you see, and there's always a job listing or two on the boards around here. I never want to do that kind of thing myself. I like my lungs the way they are, thanks. But my buddies got desperate enough to try it. I haven't heard from them in a while now that I think about it. I should see if they're on Facebook, see how they're doing up there. I hope they didn't die. He looks back at his phone, for once focused on something other than you. Oh, this is me. It was lovely meeting you. Hope you don't get too bored without me around to talk to. Here, I have something for you. The stranger rifles through his pack before presenting you with a dripping bag of peanuts. They're boiled peanuts. I got them at a gas station a few buses back. I noticed you haven't eaten much, so I figured you could use them more than me. Plus, they dripped all over my bag, so I don't want to carry them anymore. So here we can say that we're allergic to peanuts. As far as I'm aware, this doesn't change anything yet, but I have a feeling it will have some funny impact in like the last chapter or something. We're just gonna eat them. You've been on a bus for hours on end and can't remember the last time you've eaten. You snatch the peanuts from the stranger's hands, tearing open the bag like a wild animal, not even removing the shells as you consume fistfuls of soggy, savory legume. I figured you'd enjoy them. Glad they went to a good home. And with that, I leave you. Safe travels, friend. No, this game takes place in 2022, I believe. It is October 18th, 2022, I think. Or, not 18th, October 24th? Maybe you can finally get some sleep. Next stop, Scarlet Hollow. End of the line. Almost there. October 24th of 2022, thank you. And I've also pointed this out, but I like that the schedule is that the bus gets here Monday at 11 a.m. and it leaves Monday at 11:01 a.m. and that's it. There's no... This whole bus station is just for this one bus to pull in for 1 minute and then leave once a week, and that's it. The bus finally comes to a stop, its brakes squealing as it deposits you in front of the Scarlet Hollow bus station. I think we've looked at this background before. It's nothing too wild here, but the sign at least reads bus station, but calling it that feels disingenuous. At best it's a kiosk, though for a small town like this you're amazed there's so much as a road, let alone a bus that drives on it every week. The driver quickly shuts the doors behind you and starts the engine, kicking up dust clouds as he pulls away, eager to leave you and this place behind. Hey, Valeria. You instantly recognize the worn young woman from the few public photos on her Facebook page. She's your cousin Tabitha, and she looks annoyed to be here. I'm so sorry for your loss, Tabitha. Yes, great, thank you. Let's get back to the estate. I don't want to spend any more time down here than I have to. Your cousin turns and motions to an old BMW parked near the bus kiosk. You follow her, clambering into the dusty relic. The boiled peanuts have been eaten. Their Scarlet Hollow is safe from the peanuts. It doesn't take much driving before the only signs of civilization are the car you're in and the road you're on. Tabitha maintains an icy silence as she focuses on the road. How are you holding up? Fine. Are you sure? You seem tense. You know you can talk to me, right? I went through something similar when my own mom passed. She tenses up even more at the mention of your mom before letting out a heavy sigh. Maybe it's a sore spot for her. You quickly apologize. I'm sorry, I know that's probably not what you're looking to hear right now. Look, I appreciate your concern, but I'm fine. Really. I can't believe we've never actually met before this. You have your mom to thank for that, or had, I guess. We are not gonna talk about the Dead Moms Club. We're not doing that stupid joke that ruins your relationship with everybody. I don't know why my mom left or what kind of grudge she had against this side of the family, but I'm sorry. I wish I'd known about you. Whatever. What's done is done. So the funeral, it's on Sunday, right? Yep, like I told you. Have you worked out all the details yet? Mm-hmm. Taken care of. Don't need any help. You decide to sit in silence with your cousin as the car eases up the steep mountain road. I also like, you spend a fair amount of time in cars in this game. I like the detail of like the, like there's just the tape deck here. You could probably figure out exactly what year this BMW is. I'm sure they drew off a model. But, like this car is a hand-me-down, right? Like this is a 90s car. Like early 90s car. And you get the feeling like these like molded parts don't quite fit together anymore. You know, like they warp in the heat and stuff. It's great, I love it. Oh, is No Day Shall Erase You in here? What's up? Tabitha, cousin, we should go bowling. Oh, yeah, Booksmart and Kenai. Sorry, I was just checking the, It's Ikigai Kosei, caster. Say it right, or don't say it at all. um, but, yeah, sorry, I was checking chat for a second, so... Yeah, Booksmart and Kenai. And here it is, the Scarlet Estate. Though it's seen better days, its crumbling elegance is not lost on you, someone used to cramped apartments in gray cities. Your mother told you about this place many times before she passed, always with an anger burning beneath her words. The faded majesty you once imagined doesn't quite compare with what's in front of you. As you stare at it perched on the crumbling cliffside, you can't help feel like it's something that should have been left to rot a long, long time ago. Fu Manchu says Tabitha would either kick you out of the moving car for suggesting bowling or she secretly has her own custom ball and shoes. So I don't think there's a bowling alley in town. Unless there's it's like, There Will Be Blood and she has like a secret like bowling alley in her house, which I think that would make sense. She's gonna beat Reese to death with a bowling pin and the... Everything in this room has been here for much longer than you've been alive. Each object cemented in place with layers of dust and cobwebs. You can hear doors creak on their hinges and the aches and moans of ancient floorboards as the house itself sways in the wind. Gingerbeer says, doesn't that one cop go on bowling nights? I believe he does, but I think they're in the other... I don't think they're in town. I think he goes out to Brevard, which is like the nearest like real town. If you talk to Tabitha, she says she's never been out of Scarlet Hollow. So... Welcome to our family's humble estate. Unfortunately, due to the current state of the house, only a few rooms will be safely accessible during your stay. I wouldn't go wandering anywhere else if you value your limbs. The floors have been known to give out. If you know what's good for you, you'll stick to your room, your bathroom, and the kitchen, and hallways, I guess. But only the hallways you need to use to get to those places. I'll show you around so you know where it's safe to walk. You can leave your bags here for the time being. So because we have Booksmart, we're one of the few things that can actually appreciate the house. The architecture here is breathtaking. It reminds me of the Biltmore estate. Color me marginally impressed. I didn't have you pegged as cultured. Believe it or not, this estate actually predates the Biltmore by nearly 3 decades. It used to be the crown jewel of the region, but times change and the attentions of the masses are ever so fickle. Shall we begin the tour? Follow me. So we did toxic security last time, Keen Arner. So this time we're doing Stella romance, but we're also going to try to Tabby Max, because there's a scene where you can. I believe there's a scene where like things can go pretty well between the 3 of you, which is very funny. And I haven't seen it yet, so I'd like to try to get it. You put your bags down and follow Tabitha through a long, dusty hallway. She delicately steps over holes and tears in the floor, and you do your best to trace her steps. Kitchen. On Wednesdays, a woman from town comes in and does the cleaning. Her name is Janie. I wouldn't recommend socializing with her. She'll talk your ear off. If you need any food, there's fixings for peanut butter and jelly. Don't touch my mac and cheese or my ice cream. Those are off limits. Oh, and you can also access the garden through here, but it's pretty wild, so I wouldn't if I were you. I think talking this room up doesn't get anything good. Alright, what's next? Bathroom, follow me. Great, it's been hours since I've gone. As the 2 of you leave the kitchen, you pass by a tuxedo cat sitting on the countertop. We'll just leave the cat be. You once again follow Tabitha through a long, dusty hallway. Maybe after a few nights it'll get easier to navigate these spaces, but for the time being you feel lucky to have not fallen through the floors. Guest bathroom. Not much to show. It's a bathroom. I'll wait outside. Do what you must, if you must. It's a wretched bathroom. Piles of junk sit untouched in the corners of the room, and mystery stains paint the floor. Lift the toilet seat. Bugs skitter from the bowl as you lift the seat. No, we'll use the facilities. Doesn't actually matter. A toilet is a toilet. Sure, it could be cleaner, but your business needs doing, and this is as good a place as any. You do what you must and rejoin your cousin out in the hall. Next up, guest bedroom. Last stop on the tour. Follow me. I like that Tabby's house kind of reflects her like state of mind. So she's not like a like slovenly person, right? But I think she's just putting so much of herself into her work and so afraid of like changing anything about her situation that it just manifests as like J.K. Rowling mold creeping across the walls. You and Tabitha briefly return to the foyer before climbing the stairs and reaching the guest room. The room smells old. Dust, mildew, wood rot, it has it all. A week of sleeping in this place might give you permanent lung damage. This is where you'll be staying. The linens are fresh. I had Janie wash them last week. I had to endure a half-hour rant about her kid to get her to do it, so you'd better be grateful. The closet is full of old family stuff, so you can't hang your clothes up, but you can use the drawer. It should be empty. What's with all the boxes? Old family stuff. I could help move them. Tabitha eyes you up and down for a moment. No. Well, this is great. Way nicer than I'm used to. I can't say I'm surprised. Each and every piece of furniture in this room is a genuine antique, handed down through the family for generations. This is not an IKEA bedroom or whatever such nonsense you're used to in the city. I guess I'll start to get settled. Follow me. I'll take you back to the foyer so you can collect your belongings. This concludes our tour. I'm afraid I must return to my duties, so you'll have to entertain yourself for the rest of the day. Don't expect to see much of me. You know, we don't have to inherit our parents' bad blood. We can start fresh now that it's just us. Okay. I'm sorry. I've been testy since you've gotten here. You haven't done anything wrong. I'm just under a lot of pressure right now. Please just stay out of my hair until later, okay? I have work to do. So we can prod her about what she does and even voice our opinion on it, but she doesn't like that, so we'll just say, I won't keep you, but we should hang out when you get back. We'll see. There's a lot that needs to get done this week. Your cousin leaves through the front door, and now it's just you. You and this sprawling, decrepit estate. We'll go to our room. Now that your cousin is gone, the aches and pains of your journey sink into your bones. You stumble back up the stairs to your room, suitcase in tow, eager to unwind before you face the rest of the day. You stand at the entrance to your room. We could put our spare clothes in the dresser. You drag your suitcase over to the dresser and open the bottom drawer. An opossum lurks within. It is quiet, but angry. Please get out of my dresser. You attempt to scoop the creature up in your hands, but it digs its nails into the soft wood of that drawer, resisting your touch. As you tug harder, it stiffens in your hand and begins to drool, feigning death. You've spooked the poor thing. You close the drawer. You might as well leave the opossum be before you give it a heart attack. You open the top drawer next. It's empty, as good a place as you'll find to put your clothes. Based on the state of the house, you wonder if you'd been better off keeping your clothes in your nice clean bag, but there's no going back now. He wasn't really dead, he was just pretending. You can only imagine how beautiful the garden must have been in its heyday. If you owned this place, you'd totally get out there with a shovel and some gardening gloves and whip it into shape. You'd go out and pull weeds, chop trees, carve topiaries, and you'd do whatever you needed to do to return it to its former glory. And once it was all done, you'd sit by the fountain, which of course would have a little goldfish in it, and drink a floral tea while enjoying the bird song. Yeah, you'd definitely do that. Just not right now. You can see why your cousin said you should put your clothes in the dresser instead of this closet. There must be decades of family history stacked up in there. Of course, you're sharing a room with a creepy doll. You pick it up to examine it more closely. Its foot reads, "Property of Alexandra." No need to carry this around with you. You close the closet behind you. This must be an older relative of yours, judging by the dates on the inscription. You've never heard of her, but you'd barely heard anything about your aunt and cousin until a week ago, so that's not really a surprise. Maybe you could ask Tabitha about this Mary Belle Scarlet the next time you see her. That is, if she's actually in the mood for conversation. So this is our grandmother. We don't know it yet, but she died in childbirth, having our mother and her twin. That twin being Tabitha's mother. Try to take a nap. You immediately collapse in the bed. You're tired enough that being alone in a strange new place won't stop you from passing out. Or so you thought. You cough as a small cloud of dust rises up from the mattress. These sheets might be fresh, but everything beneath them might have been around to see the dawn of civilization. You try to settle in, but the bed is lumpy in strange places, and you can feel the springs pressing through the fabric. You might be tired, but you're far from tired enough to get more than a few minutes of uncomfortable napping. That's enough. Doesn't seem like there's much else for you to do here right now. We check out the Forbidden Wing. You immediately try the nearest door, only to be impeded by locks and chains. Might as well head to town. We could go, Actually, can we go to the garden? We're gonna skip making a peanut butter and jelly, because it's just a way to, like, learn the... kind of how the game works. Doesn't really do anything. Let's check out the garden. The garden was reclaimed by the wilderness long ago. It might not be very safe, but what's to stop you from venturing deeper? So, I always think about the, like the statues out here. There are these two little fawns, or satyrs, and this, looks like a nymph holding a baby. It might not be a nymph, it might be like a Greek goddess. I don't know which one it would be, though. The traits are booksmart and keen eye. We can explore the garden. There's the Scarlet Cemetery up here. I'm sure we'll be going there in one of these episodes. Also, so these two little guys with horns, Obviously, that's like a classic Greek symbol, but if we will see in a little bit that Tulip, uh, Janie and Pastor Daniel's daughter, uh, is drawing two little imp guys, and so I think this might be like a hint about what we'll see in episode 6. We return to the kitchen. For the time being, says having the cemetery on the higher ground is an interesting choice. Well, you don't want to put it in the low ground because if it floods, it'll like drag out the caskets. We can search the pantry. Check out the cookbook. Tabitha sure loves her mac and cheese. I love that there's all this bread, and then she always gets down to like this much bread left and then stops eating it, and then it gets moldy. That feels very well observed. Like she could just buy bread less often, right? Like also the GIF peanut butter makes me laugh. Someone says it could be Hera or Demeter. Yeah, I think if anybody, it would probably be Demeter, or maybe like Leto, Apollo's mother. But I don't know. Because Bacchus's mother, Bacchus was like born from the earth, right? Like he didn't have like a human mother. Um, let's look closer. You squint into the darkness of the pantry. Behind the molded bread, a single book lies forgotten, a thin layer of dust collected on its cover. You pick it up. At Home Gourmet. Have him coming back for seconds. This is from the 70s. We have the it's like a shrimp salad in like a jello. I struggle to even This looks like a cake. Okay, we got a cake, but the fact that it has vegetables around it makes me wonder if this is like some like spaghetti monstrosity. Like it's like spaghetti in like a jello mold with I don't know. You flip to a bookmarked page. Both calf's brain and aspic are unappetizing enough on their own, and you can only imagine how vile the combination of the two would be. What kind of person would call this their favorite food? No wonder your mom ran far, far away from this place. So this is interesting. Yeah, Teddy's favorite. Serve on toast or with plain crackers. So that's a strange thing to be anybody's favorite. We know what happened to Teddy, and of course Teddy would have been living here and would have been having to eat food. Yeah, that's just an interesting little note there. You shut the book and put it back in its place. That would be after he was locked in the box, Red. Phantom says, "You got me into this game, Miss Worm. I'm scared. I'm scarred. My swag broken. Also, that cookbook definitely has jelly ham in it. Yeah, it probably does have jelly ham. But I mean, maybe it just was his favorite food. But that's such a weird, such a weird favorite to have. I don't think there's anything to be seen looking at these. You can't say you've ever seen the brand before. Let's just put it back. Staying away from the mac and cheese was one of your cousin's hard rules, and she already seems to not like you. You put the box back where you found it, reluctant to make things worse than they already are. Let's just clear out of here. Is there anything in the fridge to see with keen eye? As you approach the fridge, your eyes catch a note taped to the door reading "Janie, stay out" in all caps. Below it, in separate handwriting, are the words "Okie dokie." You open the fridge. You already feel a deep urge to wash your hands, even though you have yet to touch anything other than the handle. Carrots. I don't... Like, what would the carrots be for? When would they be from? Probably from when Pearl Ann was still alive. This looks like a, This looks like one of those, like, Soylent bottles, but I think it probably is actually a sauce. And just jelly. Let's check the mayo. You know you probably shouldn't, but a part of you has to know how old that mayonnaise is. You pick up the jar, its label flaking in your hand. It expired 10 years ago. This jar of mayonnaise is old enough to graduate the 5th grade. Kid with the bar shades. Best you put it back and forget you ever saw it. You return to the kitchen, closing the fridge behind you. That butter's probably fresh because it goes in the mac and cheese. Like you can see she's like just bowl after bowl after bowl. She only eats food in bowl form. Let's not be hungry. Let's just leave. The state of this kitchen has put you off eating, possibly forever. Maybe it's time to do something else. Might as well head to town. I actually wonder if the carrots were something Janie brought, like, oh, we grew all these carrots, and because Stella will mention that later, that has happened. If you'd known you'd wind up having to walk all the way back to town, you probably would have just asked Tabitha to leave you at the bus stop, especially with how unhappy she seemed to see you. Always gotta play picture search, because he might be here, but he's not here. I think he doesn't show up until the first night. If only you could wipe the slate between the two of you clean and bury some of the tension, though maybe her mother's funeral isn't the best time for something like that. Then again, maybe it's the perfect time. Yeah, that's what I think, Phantom. It's really pretty out here. Finally, you made it back to town. Wow. Is the weather vane on top of Town Hall a witch? That looks like the Bewitched logo, like a little lady sitting on a broom. It's very funny if so. The holler, as that guy on the bus called it, has probably seen better days. It still has the feeling of an idyllic country town, but its sidewalks are cracked and many of the storefronts are boarded up, their windows dusty with age. A chill breeze sweeps down the lane and you shudder, suddenly feeling as if you're peering into a grave. Gretchen, come back! Quit bothering strangers! Sorry about that. Gretchen can be very slippery when she wants to be. She loves to get loose and cause havoc. A pug, she's so cute! Thanks, she is cute. Sure, most of her teeth have fallen out and she's got a couple of weird growths, but for a 17-year-old pug, that's pretty good. That's amazing. It sure is. I'm hoping she beats the current record holder and makes it to 19. Or better yet, 20. The more time we get together, the better. Isn't that right, Gretch? What am I doing? I got so caught up in the excitement of meeting someone new that I entirely forgot to introduce myself. I'm Stella. Stella has a Mothman shirt on. It's not often I see a strange face up in the holler. Every now and then there's a new crop of coal folks, but you don't look, dusty enough for that. You aren't in town for the funeral, are you? The Scarlet funeral? We will introduce ourselves. Hi, I'm Valeria. You must be Tabby's cousin, right? That's the only person I can think of who'd come to town for the funeral. How's she holding up? To be honest, I've been a little worried about her all alone up in that big house. I will say, even though we just met a couple hours ago, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't worried about her. She's always been a little rough around the edges, but I figured she'd probably be having a rough go of things. She and her mom were really close. To think she's been up in that old mansion all by herself. That'll probably be good for her now that you're staying here, even if she doesn't think so herself. How long have you known her? Oh, quite a long time. The town's really small, so everybody's known everybody else as far back as they can remember. Tabby and I got a little close when we were both in the school's production of A Midsummer Night's Dream. I was Puck and she was Mustard Seed. As you might have expected, she was more than a little prickly, but I managed to soften her up a bit in the end. But then she graduated and that was that. Oh, if you just got to town, you must be starving. I was just on my way to the diner for a coffee and they've got amazing biscuits. My treat. So we will... Biscuits, your treat? Hell yeah. Awesome, let's go. So we can see here, somebody asked, here's Tulip and Janie, and Tulip's drawing, and sure enough, these look like two little imps. They're two little humanoid figures with horns. And we will learn later that she has some concerning imaginary friends. And here we've got the miners, the police. I don't think we ever learned this cook's name. Avery and Winnie and Julius. But yeah, Isaacs has a little bit of a 5 o'clock shadow going. He shaved in between chapters. Yeah, well, men can do that. They can just shave. It's crazy. All of which grinds to a sudden halt as the patrons realize that a stranger has entered the establishment. Quietly slide into the nearest booth. You slide into the nearest booth, pretending you didn't notice everyone in the diner gawking at you like they'd just seen Bigfoot. Also, God, coffee, $2. Sausage biscuit special, $2. Sunday pancake special, $3. Bottomless coffee, $1. Like, what the hell? Even Tulip is like, wow. Avery is kind of caked up, yeah. Stella's caked up, too. And honestly, Derrickson? No need to be shy. They don't meet many strangers. It's kind of a big deal when someone new wanders into town. You can see him whispering about us. We see that the newspaper is called the Holler Picayune. Picayune means like a gossip. Especially since, well, they probably all know what you're here for, and by extension, who you're related to. Even if you don't know anybody, it's not easy keeping secrets in a town this size. Mickey CFS says, Oscar has the biggest cake. Well, yeah. Yeah, he does. We are running Booksmart and Keen Eye. Somebody asked. Every time I see Oscar with the tank top, I want to tell him to cover up. Put those away, my man. As you settle into the booth, you can't help but pick up some of the murmurs of conversation around you. Let's listen in. Stella turns to Gretchen while you take a quick look around the diner. At the counter, two policemen and a woman you assume to be the owner shoot sidelong glances in your direction while whispering to each other. That must be Vivian's kid. Never thought we'd actually meet her. Looks so much like her. Oh yes, those eyes are unmistakable. That haunted look. So here's another clue that I've discussed where people will say that we look like way too much like Vivian, like in a way that other people they don't say about other characters. I always thought it'd go away once she finally got out of this town, but I guess unhappiness was baked into her DNA. Mm-hmm. A young mother and her syrup-stained child sit at the table across from you. Mommy, who's that? Don't stare, Tulip. That must be Miss Tabitha's cousin. Oh, so that's why she looks so sad. I'd look sad, too, if I had to have Miss Tabitha as a cousin. Do you think Tabitha's cousin is mean, too? I don't know. I'll find out next time I go visit Miss Tabitha. Are you going to finish your pancakes? They're almost cold, Sweet Pea, and we got to get home to help Daddy. In the far back corner, a man sits alone at a small table, sipping coffee and reading a paper. Why are the strangers who wander into town never gorgeous blonde ladies of an appropriate age? Why is it always coal boys, punks, and whippersnappers? I wonder if his line there is... I guess he'd still be a kid compared to him. Lastly, a group of coal miners sit hunched around the corner booth, readily scarfing down heaping plates of food. What do you think? Another young'un looking for mine work? No way. Clearly don't got the stomach for it. That's gotta be the boss's cousin. There's that funeral this week, if I'm remembering right, for old Miss Pearl Ann. May she rot in peace. Oh, let the lady rest, Zax. One shouldn't speak ill of the dead, no matter how foul they were, especially before they've been so much as lain to rest. If you'd been around in her heyday, you'd be speaking ill too, Rodriguez. He's right. Nastiest woman I ever met. That Tabitha is a blessing compared to her. Curse a whole lot of them. May every scarlet burn in hell. That's enough of that. Yeah, I think Julius is probably one of the older characters in the game. It's probably 60s. He's wearing what looks like a Vietnam jacket, but I think, Yeah, he could be a Vietnam vet and he'd be in his 60s. Because his jacket looks like the basic Vietnam jungle jacket. And that would make sense for like why he's always setting traps and stuff. Like there was a lot of you know, guerrilla warfare kind of stuff going on. Hey Stella, I went ahead and fix you up a coffee. They quietly place a cup of coffee in front of Stella. And here's some bacon for the little lady. Gretchen sniffs the bacon and digs in. Important hint that we can do this so that we can see Gretchen at all times. Anything for you? The name's Avery. I'll be taking care of you today. So, if we order a biscuit and a coffee, that feels presumptuous. We could just order a biscuit. Because she said she'd be fine. I'll have a biscuit, please. I heard they were really good. Best in the country. Oh, and I'm sorry for your loss. Before you have a chance to respond, they're gone. Glad you took my advice with the biscuit. You won't regret it. Anyway, the funeral's not till Sunday, right? That gives you quite a bit of time to slum around town. I'm trying to think if there are any cool events going on this week. There's always the reading adventure at the library, which is supposed to be for little kids, but I do it every month anyway. Oh, and I'm pretty sure Avery's throwing a party Saturday night, so that's a fun thing to look forward to. And there's the weekly Sunday potluck. That should be right after the funeral, too, so it'll be a special occasion. So, book smart is Stella's favored trait. It gives us a lot of ways to kind of get her on side. It's a shame the reading adventures for kids. I was excited for something to do with the library. Just because it's for kids doesn't mean it isn't fun. Just because it's for kids doesn't mean it isn't fun. And Oscar's all about keeping things on theme. So this month it's a bunch of ghost stories. I think he's calling it spooky bookies. You know, like how a ghost would say it. Oh my god, that's perfect. Cool, we should check it out this week. But that's really just an afternoon. Any idea what you want to do for the rest of the week? So we can ask, like, say that we kind of see through her bullshit, but, just because it's a skill option doesn't mean we should take it. Like, this one is going to come across as a little bit boring, and this one is going to come across like we don't trust her, that we see kind of through her deception, because she is running a game here. She's trying to get close to us so that she can reconnect with Tabitha. Which is why she immediately was like, oh, you're the new Scarlet, and oh, like, yeah. I kind of assumed I'd be spending my time trying to help Tabitha, but with how quickly she ran off today, I'm not sure that's enough for a full schedule. I don't see through your deception at all. I just don't know what to do with myself. Help me, Stella, help me. That's really sweet of you, but you're right. That'll definitely still leave you with plenty of time to kill. Have you thought about exploring the local trails at all? I'm usually out there a few nights a week for my job, and I'd be happy to show you around. Before Stella can finish, Avery returns, biscuit in tow. Here's your biscuit. Winnie says it's on the house. She sends her condolences. You haven't introduced yourself. Again, this would just be us seeing through the reason people don't do this is because you leave these kind of unspoken things in place as like a social nicety. So calling out every inconsistency you see is generally not thought of very well. Oh, you didn't have to do that. No worries. Hope you enjoy it. You pick up the biscuit. It's delicate and fluffy. It nearly crumbles at your touch. Buttery warmth emanates from its surface. Fu Manchu says, do we think that Stella let Gretchen off the leash specifically to bump into the protag? That's definitely possible. But Gretchen does get off leash a lot, so... Astronomaly says, I love one of the side comics where Tulip beats Stella at the reading adventure and they both stare at each other thinking, I have to win. I remember that, yeah. There's a lot of cute little, Abby has made a bunch of cute little comics about the story. Truly, this is a perfect biscuit. Whoa, this is a really good biscuit. Wow. I'm so glad you like it. Avery lingers at the table for a moment. So, has Stella mentioned she's famous? Oh, Avery, I'm not famous. You're the only person I know who's been on the news. If that's not famous, then I don't know what is. Stella sighs. I'm a YouTuber. I love the, how does that make you money? I get that question a lot. Wow, that's rad. I've never met a YouTuber before. I'd love to check out your channel at some point. Aw, thanks. It's nothing much. It pays the bills, but it's mostly a passion project, you know? She's selling herself short, Valeria. Her stuff's amazing. She hunts cryptids. I think the best video to start with would be that river one. You know, the controversial one. Oh yeah, the Catawba River Runner. I didn't expect much out of the footage at the time, but it really wound up doing numbers. So the River Runner's a cryptid that's only known from a single sighting. 2 Boy Scouts thought they saw something big and weird at the Catawba River, and that's all I have to go on. But then I wound up catching this on camera. Stella pulls out her phone and shows you a clip of something in the river. I just love looking at little hints. There's not enough to really tell what's going on here. We see the Catawba River Runner. There's a critter. Hidden Appalachia is the name of her channel. I looked to see if there was a Hidden Appalachia channel that was like doing like tie-in stuff with the game, but there's not. Lo-fi beats to chill / study to, and it's a raccoon. Scared into woods. This guy being scared. Haunted ice cream parlor. And Gretchen has finished the bacon and is just filling the plate with drool now. Keen eye and book smart. From the shape of its body to the little pixelated ears sticking out of its head, you can definitely tell that it's some variety of big cat. Though they've long been considered extinct in this region, mountain lions used to live in these parts. Who's to say this isn't part of a remnant population? Some folks said it was a beaver, but if that was the case, it'd be at least twice the size of any beaver I've seen. I also had people saying it was a dog or even a capybara that must have escaped from a local wildlife sanctuary. I'm still not sure what it was, and I'm the one who saw the thing with my own 2 eyes. So confidently saying it's a mountain lion kind of rains on her cryptid parade. So, yeah, it looks like a big cat. See, it's got those little kitty ears right there. Maybe it's a mountain lion. No way, it is absolutely not a mountain lion. There are no mountain lions this far east. I did a whole video on the Appalachian mountain lion myth and found jack squat, and there's no reason one would be swimming in the river like this. They're not fans of water. And the body's too long. No way. Personally, I'm a fan of the capybara theory. There's always people keeping those things as exotic pets. Kind of a sewer gator type situation. Yeah, exactly. Some exotic pet owner set it free and now it will forever roam the Catawba, confusing Boy Scouts and YouTube commenters for years to come. Astronomy says there was a screenshot on Tumblr of someone's playthrough with Keen Eye plus Booksmart plus Talk to Animals where it was 5 different options to say that it's a mountain lion. It's very good. KQ Online says, is there any run in which having an unpleasant personality is a plus? Yes. Showering makes you vulnerable to a certain thing. Being nice to a specific character and going along with them makes you vulnerable to a certain thing. So it does give you a leg up on dealing with specifically one character. And if you're looking for skill combos, a hot and powerful build run has a bunch of them where you just like bimbo mode the whole time. So speaking of things to do around town, I was actually planning on filming this week's video tonight. I was wondering if maybe you'd want to come along? It's a pretty easy one this week. We wouldn't even have to camp anywhere. I'm gonna go after the... Wait, no spoilers. I should probably get back to it instead of standing around chatting with friends anyway. See y'all around. Now that the coast is clear, I'm going after Skunk Ape. So here's another instance where Booksmart helps us. Heck yeah, Skunk Ape is hilarious. I saw a docu special on it once. Stinky Bigfoot. Right? It should be a pretty fun video. It's hard to be serious when you're talking about something that's famous for smelling bad. Most Skunk Ape sightings are from Florida, but while I was doing research for last week's video, I came across a report where a lady from a town over claimed to have seen one on her deck, playing tug-of-war with her dog. So, I think we know what that is. I think that's a, what do you call it? I think that's a ditchling. Because that's a week ago in a town over, and we know the ditchlings didn't just show up today, so. And as I leave no stone unturned, I decided it was worth investigating. So what do you say? Want to tag along? Hold the camera for me while I narrate against the darkening sky, that sort of thing? Absolutely. I'd love to come along. That's great. It's been a while since I've had anyone besides Gretchen out there with me. This is going to be a lot of fun. I actually started the channel with a couple buddies of mine back in middle school, so it'll be like a blast from the past. I miss those two. Our videos were terrible. You know, that gets me thinking. I wonder if they'd be down to come along with us, get the old gang back together. Though I guess Kanika has to close out the general store tonight, so I'm pretty sure she's a no-go. But Reese, I think there's a decent chance we could get him to come out of his cave, if he's up for it. Do you mind if I make a quick call? Stella pulls out her phone and dials it, waiting while it rings. We still got Gretchen face. Reese, dude, what's up? It feels like it's been forever. Aw, man, I'm sorry to hear that. Do you want me to come by, or...? Okay, if you're really sure, but if you change your mind... I was just calling to ask if you wanted to come out to the woods tonight. I met somebody cool in town today. She's Tabitha's cousin. I know, yeah, just here for the week. Anyway, we're going out to look for skunk ape. We could take the easier trails if that would help. Dang, man, that sounds awful. I hope you take it easy tonight. I'll swing by sometime this week and we can have a more low-key hang. How's that? Yeah, I'll bring her. Talk to you soon. Bye, bud. Looks like it's just you and me, pal. Is he okay? He's not feeling well, that's all. He's had a lot going on in the past. Gosh, 10 years ago? 10 years or so? But I feel like it's gotten a lot worse recently. Can't remember the last time I saw him leave his house. Oh, it's not my place to talk about, really. I just got a little excited thinking about having him along again. He's hilarious. You'd love him. We should swing by his place sometime this week. That'd be nice. I'd love to meet your friends. Awesome. I'll make it happen. He's definitely the trickier one to meet. Kanika's much easier to track down since she's at the general store practically every day. But friendship can wait. We've got a skunk ape to hunt. So we should probably head out if we want to make it up to the mountain before it's too dark. Come on, let's blow this popsicle stand. You pause before getting up. Maybe it's time to make a good first impression. You shall leave a generous tip. You reach into your pocket and pull out a crumpled $5 bill. You know it's a bit more than one would expect to get from such a short dining experience, but you might as well share the wealth while you've got it. You smooth out the bill before placing it on the table inconspicuously. Aw, that's awesome of you. Avery will appreciate that, I'm sure. Stella turns to leave the diner with you, following close behind. It hadn't been very cold when you first arrived in town, but as the sun dips closer and closer to the horizon, a chill descends upon the hollow, and you see your situation with renewed clarity. You're in a new place, far from civilization and the people you know, following someone you just met into a dark forest in search of monsters. You feel more alive than you've ever felt in years. A fall breeze passing through the leaves, the orange hue of the setting sun painting the horizon, the promise of excitement ahead. And again, this is a great little view of the town. Like, here's the church and the farm next to the church. Here's the manor. Here's the cemetery. I think it's funny that the cliff the manor is falling into is the same, like, part of the valley that that the church is in. So the road comes down from this. Like, this is the walk we have to make to get to town. So it's like hours. It's a gas station. I think the diner is here. Or this might be the diner. I don't remember which. Here's town hall. Here's the clinic. It's been a while since you felt this in the moment, this present. The world around you feels almost magical. Were a mythical creature to actually manifest in front of you, it would fit perfectly in this world. Gotta love this brisk fall weather. This past summer was the hottest on record. Since last year, at least. Someone says, is Stella the prettiest? I think canonically Kanika's the prettiest. Or maybe Avery. They both have hot. I've not really gotten into any shenanigans, Alice. Still on the first day. Gotta love this brisk fall weather. The past summer was the hottest on record. Since last year, at least. You know how it is these days. Each summer is the hottest yet until the next summer, which always finds a way to be so much worse. It's just nice to feel a chill in the air and see the leaves change, like normalcy's restored, if only for a minute. Sorry if that was a bit of a bummer. We should talk about something more fun, like skunk apes. What's the weirdest thing you've seen out here, other than cryptids, of course? Oh gosh, that's a good one. Let me think. Well, there's always the deer I saw stealing baby birds out of a nest and eating them. That was pretty messed up. But I think most people know about that these days. I've seen tons of videos of other deer doing it, so I'm not sure if it counts as weird anymore. Oh, Tetanus Lake, that's definitely the weirdest. It's a 5-foot deep, 30-foot wide pile of old cans and bottles and assorted garbage with grass and trees growing on it, so you could barely tell it was there until you stepped on it. It was practically solid ground with how much it had been compressed, but you could still fall through if you weren't careful, hence the name. Better be up on your shots if you want to mess around in there. It's all stuff from the 50s too, which is super neat. I salvaged a few bottles that I keep on my dresser as a little souvenir. Do you ever hunt things that aren't cryptids, like ghosts, demons, werewolves, that sort of thing? Yeah, for sure. I used to go after all sorts of spooky stuff. I never had much luck, though, especially when it came to ghosts. Back when I first started doing solo videos, I'd get into all sorts of old abandoned buildings, hoping I'd stumble across some sort of activity. But nothing ever happened. It was always just me and my camera in an old house getting worked up over a gust of wind or a creaky floorboard. When all's said and done, I've just been a lot luckier with cryptids. I want to believe in ghosts so bad, and I can't rule out the possibility that there really are true hauntings out there. But if there are, I sure as heck haven't seen any myself. Werewolves I kind of lump in with cryptids. I'd be shocked if there were actually people out there who turned into animals, but werewolf lore lines up pretty well with the great beast genre of cryptid. As for demons, I don't know. I honestly don't even want to consider the possibility that they exist, because if they really are out there, a lot of folks are doomed to an eternity of flames. So let's hope all that's just bunk, am I right? What about aliens? Don't even get me started. Did you see those UFO videos the government declassified? Aliens are definitely real, and they have absolutely visited Earth. Like, I believe in aliens way more than I believe in cryptids. You don't see me hunting aliens out here because we know they're real. Aliens are obviously real. I know somebody who heard a story from this trucker in Fayetteville. His truck stopped in the middle of the road, just shut down completely, even though he had a full tank of gas. And suddenly it looked like daylight outside. He could see cows out in the fields, birds in the sky, then this metallic egg thing appeared, floating in front of his truck. He passed out, and when he woke up he was missing one of his pinkies. It was like it had never been there. It was just smooth skin where a pinky should be. I know it's a secondhand source, but there's plenty more like it, and if they are true... Something keeps rattling. Is that coming through on the microphone? I'm trying to determine if it's some kind of outside sound or sound from the desk. I think it's an outside sound and probably not coming through. I'm convinced. Makes sense to me. For sure, and even if this one's hogwash, there's a lot of evidence out there. Let's move on. Did you hear that? Oh, calm down, Gretchen, you old mutt. Sorry for getting spooked, Duke. I thought you... some creature of darkness? Nah, girlie, just old Duke. Now what the hell are you looking for way out here? Skunk Ape. I'm sorry I asked. And who's this you've suckered into coming with you? Wait a chick, you aren't... Is that... Yep. I see. Welcome to the holler. My condolences. I'll keep you in my prayers. Now both y'all head on back to town, you hear? It's best for you to steer well clear of this area tonight. I'm out dealing with my own critter, and I won't be too appreciative if a couple of fools with a camera scare away the more sensitive wildlife. What are you hunting tonight? Something... tall and hairy? Something musky? You see anything like that recently? Wouldn't you like to know? You never could stay in your business, Stella Richmond. Put that damn camera down. Oh, come on, Duke. Maybe I could help out. I'm pretty good at tracking. You know I learned from the best. Yes, you did, but I've yet to see a shred of proof that you listened to any of it, the way you tromp around in the woods at night yelling about chunkabungas or whatever have you. Something's been getting at my chickens. I've lost 3 this week, and I can't afford to lose many more than that. I wonder if Skunk Ape has a taste for chicken. Now see, this is why I don't come to you about these things. It ain't no skunk ape, whatever the hell that is. I know exactly what this is, but you wouldn't believe me if I told you. Oh, Duke, you don't think it's... I do, actually. It's those damn mountain lions. They're out there, Stella. I don't care what your little investigation turned up. You haven't been out in these woods as long as I have. These sons of bitches are sneaky. Of course, you wouldn't find any in one night of tracking. Duke is very funny here. And I know for a fact that's what's been getting to my chickens. It couldn't be anything else. I'm telling you, man, mountain lions are extinct in these parts. There hasn't been an actual sighting since the 1990s, and even those were iffy. Can't believe you go out there on your YouTube saying some river monster spotted by a couple school-age Boy Scouts has been 100% confirmed, yet Appalachian cougars are some kind of far-fetched fantasy made up by geezers like me. You made me look like a fool. I read those comments people were posting on your video. I'm sorry, Duke. I didn't mean to sick anybody on you. I just don't think it's plausible. I'll leak those words when I come carrying a mountain lion corpse out of these woods at dawn. And if you two don't want a face full of buckshot, I suggest you run home and stay out of the woods tonight. What? If you find a mountain lion, don't kill it. If there are any in the Appalachians, they'd be highly endangered. Killing one might actually be a crime. At the very least, it'd be a crime against nature. A crime? And what about the crimes they committed against me and my chickens? Ain't murder one of the worst crimes you can commit? I'm just serving justice where it's due. An eye for an eye, a life for a life. And as we remember, that was a line that got said in Slay the Princess. And it sounds like he's quoting the Bible, but that's not what the Bible says. The Bible says an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. Can't you just use a tranquilizer or something? Killing another animal isn't going to make things right. It won't bring your chickens back, it'll just cause the potential extinction of a subspecies. Oh right, let me just go to my truck and get my tranquilizer gun and prescription grade darts. Are you kidding? I don't have that type of shit laying around. I do. My parents use stuff like that. My parents used to use stuff like that sometimes. My mom could write prescriptions for the darts, and I still have a box of them in the shed. And they're probably pretty old right now. I don't know how long they're supposed to be good for. And there you have it. It's kill or be killed tonight. And if you ain't careful, you'll wind up in the middle of it. So go on then. Go on home. Fine. I see you won't be moved, and I respect that. Come on, Valeria. Let's go back to town. Maybe my viewers won't be too angry with me. This is her street smart face. Stella, when it's time to tell the truth. About time. Have a nice night, y'all. As you and Stella return to the trail, she carefully looks back the way you came. Okay, the coast is clear. There's no way we're letting Duke edge us out that easy. Come on, I know a trail that'll get us around him. So if you're hesitant or you try to get away, it's she really doesn't like that, so... Yes, I knew you wouldn't give up on the hunt. Never. And trust me, we won't have anything to worry about from old Duke with his shotgun. I've gone out hunting with him before. The man sounds like a truck crashing through the trees when he walks. Even if we do cross paths, we'll hear him long before he catches wind of us. The trail's just up this way. Let's go. Alright, this looks like a good shot. Mind holding the camera? She hands you the camera and takes position. As night falls, my new assistant, the mysterious Valeria, and I find ourselves on a high hill in the Blue Ridge Mountains, where we'll begin our hunt for the elusive yet pungent skunk ape. Though mostly encountered in Florida, this possible relative of Bigfoot has been spotted all along the southeastern edge of the United States, including right in this very county. Here's hoping we get a glimpse tonight. We'll check back once more on the trail. Until then, stay searching, Stellars. I can take that camera off your hands for now. We'll be able to start the tracking scenes once the sun sets all the way. In the meantime, we'll get to take in all this gorgeous scenery. Oh, the nature out here is incredible. I'm so used to seeing only pigeons and rats. I can't wait to whip out my copy of Guide to the Birds and Wildlife of Western North Carolina and go to town on some identifications. You might wind up being a little disappointed. I feel like it's been quiet around here the past week or so. I guess everyone's flying even more south for the winter. Or maybe they've been scared off. Maybe by a very bad smell? A very bad smell attached to a mysterious ape? Your quiet moment with Stella is broken by a loud, percussive snort. It's a deer, and this noise means it's alerted the rest of its herd to danger. That's a deer, isn't it? They kind of snort to warn the rest of their herd about predators. Could be. Let's check it out. As you and Stella hear the footfalls of animals retreating into the woods, she reaches for her flashlight. A single deer remains behind, staring down the beam of light while Gretchen whines and pulls at her harness. And then it's gone. Jeez, Gretchen, calm down. You're gonna hurt yourself. She cannot handle deer. When she gets like this, I usually have to pick her up and hold her. She has a bad habit of slipping her harness when she wants to go after something. So yeah, I think that's maybe why, I'm not sure she let Gretchen off the harness to go mess with the player. You're too much of a potato. And they don't make harnesses to fit potatoes, do they? Well, that got my heart rate up. I'm ready for the hunt. Same for me. How's about we take a quick snack break to fuel up, then we get right into the night's activities. As you settle down to rest, Stella breaks open a bag of assorted snacks. So there's trail mix, extra M&Ms, there's a snack bar, there's the dried apricots. So she mentions that these apricots are from, Janie brought her them because they grew on her farm. And she's just been eating them so long that she doesn't know, like, what to do. She says she can't even taste them anymore. Let's get a snack bar. Excellent choice. A good source of energy and chocolate. Plus, I made them myself, and friendship is the best ingredient. It really complements all the cherries and cashews. You and Stella settle down on an overlook, snacks in hand, as the quiet sounds of evening wildlife wash over you. Gretchen gnaws on a stick, distracted for the time being. Here comes the boy. Hello, boy. How are you? So, tell me what it's like in Boston. Do you have a house, an apartment? Do you live with family, roommates, pets? Tell me what it's like to be Valeria. Somebody asks, are you fond of camping at all, Worm Girl? It's not really much of a thing where I'm from, unfortunately. I like hiking. I don't love camping. I have a lot of like aches and pains and stuff, and sleeping on the ground is never very good for that. I have a really, really bad back. I actually have to walk with a cane sometimes. So, like camping is cool until you have to go to sleep, or until you want something that isn't at the camp. And then it's not very cool. So we've said the apartment with a difficult roommate. Closet in a house with 10 roommates. I don't think we said this one. I live in a doorless basement that floods whenever it rains. I also have 5 roommates, and they have to come downstairs to do laundry in my room because the washer and dryer are down there. Yeah, it's the worst. Half the room is unusable because it's 3 inches deep in water every couple of weeks, and I don't remember the last time I had a good night's sleep, or privacy for that matter. Yikes, sounds like the old Scarlet estate might actually be a step up for you. Are your roommates nice at least? Yeah, they're nice enough, but it's a tough living situation. I get that. I certainly don't think I could live without any privacy like that. Do you think you'll move out at some point? Yeah, I've been saving up for something better. Oh yeah? Good for you. So what do you do for a living? So we have said that we were a streamer before. Have we said we're a teacher? Or we could be a student. I was a student at this age. I'm still in school. I got a work-study program going on right now that keeps me going, and sometimes I participate in research studies that throw a cool 20 bucks my way. Oh yeah? I always wondered what it'd be like to study at a big city school. Living in a dorm with a bunch of people your age, staying out late and eating pizza, meeting people from around the world. I guess you're not doing the dorm part, but I couldn't leave these beautiful woods behind. This is my home and I love it here. I think leaving would just make me miss it. So what do you study? Ooh, none of these. English was probably the closest to what I did. What is the line? Business school is great because sometimes you'll walk by a class, or no, sometimes you'll walk by a class on campus and they'll be teaching business school, and there will be something on the chalkboard like, what is it? Demand plus time equals value, and everyone will be writing it down like it's real. Let's do English. Oh, neat. So you study books and stuff? Yeah, I'm a writer too. I've actually got a novel I've been working on, and I think it could be really something. It'd be nice if that works out and I sell 1 million copies and I never have to live like this ever again. For a moment, you think you catch something in the tree line from out of the corner of your eye, but before you can see anything, it's gone. I think I saw something out there. Might be Skunk Ape. Do your best to pretend it isn't launching us. We don't want to scare it off. Oops. What about you? What's your story? Gretchen and I live in a little house just outside town. It's actually the house I grew up in, so it has a lot of pleasant memories attached to it, and I'm glad I could keep it in the family. My great-great-grandfather built that house, and he must have done a great job because it's as sturdy as it's ever been. Keeping the house in the family, is it just you there? Yeah, it's just me and Gretchen. My parents died a few years back. But it's okay. I've done my mourning. Life goes on, and we still get to live in our beautiful family home. Just me and Gretchen. It could be a lot worse. What were they like? Did you get along? They were amazing. Two of the nicest people you'd ever meet. Interesting, too. My dad was a bit of a regional legend among hunters and trappers. He was always out in the woods on the trail of something, and we certainly had some interesting dinners because of him. He had to learn how to fend for himself since his family didn't have much growing up. He always made sure I had food and that I knew how to get it if I ever found myself too far from a grocery store. I could make us a pretty good salad with just what's in this clearing if I had to, though it wouldn't exactly taste great. My mom was the local vet, the lady all the farms in the country knew to call if their animals were in need of something. Even the smallest mouse would get the proper care in her hands. I'm sure she's most of the reason Gretchen here is one of the oldest dogs I've ever met. So yeah, those are my parents. My mom died pretty recently, so I get it. It's alright if you ever need to talk about things. Aw, thanks, Valeria. That's really sweet of you. How are you holding up? So I think she's always like, Stella has trouble talking about difficult things, and I think if you're too much of a downer, she has a hard time with that. I'm okay, hanging in there. It was a long time coming, so it wasn't a surprise. I'd kind of come to terms with it by the time it actually happened. And it's not all bad. She doesn't have to be in pain anymore. That's a relief. The hospital bills are another story, though. I can't even imagine how bad that must be. It's just salt in the wound at that point. It's showtime. I could hear all sorts of wildlife just a second ago, and now it's quiet. You're right, and whatever made that sound is close. Here, watch Gretchen for a moment while I check this out. You and Stella inch toward the tree line as she shines her flashlight into the woods. As you approach, a series of weak clucks call out from a nearby bush. Maybe Duke's birds weren't eaten after all. What the hell was that? Hold on, I gotta play that back. Holy shit. I'm guessing it must be maybe 2-3 feet tall? Doesn't look hairy either, so I think we can rule out skunk ape. But whatever it is, it has one of Duke's chickens. Looks like it's headed north. Let's go after it. Right behind you. You follow Stella as she sprints into the unknown, Gretchen excitedly pulling you along by her leash. Ow! Are you okay? Yeah, I'm alright. I just tripped on something weird. Oh no, that poor thing. It must have been one of Duke's. Oh, Jesus, it's still alive. I guess we have to roll the camera. It seems we found one of Duke's chickens, folks, and she's not looking good. I'm hesitant to speculate, but she definitely seems to have some sort of growth under her skin. Could be a tumor, could be something else. Either way, I don't think there's much that can be done for her at this point. Jeez, I hope I don't get demonetized for this one. Wait, do you hear that? Stella, I swear to God, didn't I tell you to go on home? Birdie? Birdie, oh no, what's happened to you, sweetheart? Duke, we just found her like this. I think there's something seriously wrong with her. Jesus H. Christ. You stoop down to look at the chicken. Don't let Gretchen too close. She'll try to take a bite if you don't stop her. You hold Gretchen's leash close to your chest. She seems nervous, squirming slightly against her harness. Its poor little chicken eyes look at you, glazed over, but still rolling around in their sockets with unfortunate life. The wing is barely still attached, but seems to be the least of this chicken's concerns. Whatever got a hold of her busted her wing up too, little bastard. Yeah, what a bastard. Good God. At first we thought it might have been a tumor, but this is something else. The skin is stretched taut, the growth pulsing beneath. She can still get better. Maybe she just needs that thing to pop. She'll be right as rain in a couple of days. Happened to me once, and there's not so much as a scar these days. I don't know, it kind of looks like there's something in there. If you didn't know any better, you could say this could be some sort of parasitic growth, like a wasp laying eggs inside of a caterpillar. Looking more closely, you think you could see something squirming inside. Having investigated to your heart's content, you step back and give the bird space. There's something really wrong with all the animals we've seen tonight. No goddamn shit, it's like some sort of plague. Better not be contagious. You think she's become an egg? Like one of those things is gonna pop out of her? No, I refuse to entertain that notion. She ain't some kind of incubator. She just needs that thing drained, maybe some antibiotics, that's all. Duke, I don't think it's a mountain lion that's been getting at your chickens. Yeah, no shit. In all my years, I've never seen anything like this. As you, Duke, and Stella take stock of the situation, a sound begins to wrap around you. Gently at first, barely a whisper. But then a guttural moan, and then another, and another, until suddenly you find yourself surrounded by a chorus of groaning misery. What's that sound? She starts filming again. Is there something in the woods? Come on, Birdie, let's get you home. As Duke scoops up the injured birdie, the voices in the trees intensify. It's like you're all suddenly surrounded, the strange sounds coming closer, growing bolder. The hell is that? You feel a tightening in the leash, pulling you from behind. Don't you step another foot closer or I'll shoot. Don't think I won't. The man hesitates and the thing steps forward, fixing what seem to be its eyes on Birdie, tucked under Duke's arm. The leash is drawn fully taut, and then there's a sudden looseness. Gretchen starts making ungodly noises, screaming and howling along with the din around you. You and Stella turn just in time to see another of the creatures slithering out of the bush. Gretchen whines and barks, reaching a fevered pitch as another creature's malformed hands grab at her. Oh my god. What's going on over there? As Duke glances back, everything seems to happen at once. A patter of unnatural feet, and then chaos. Duke grapples with the thing as it grabs at his shotgun, pushing the barrel out of the way as it grasps for Birdie with oddly jointed limbs, while Stella stares in shocked silence, as if paused, watching as the other creature attempts to wrestle Gretchen into the darkness, her desperate cries going unheeded. Shit, get your grubby little hands off my bird. We will help Gretchen. Sorry, Duke. It's been real. You dive for Gretchen, attempting to snatch her away from the thing's misshapen hands. You manage to grab her, but the creature isn't deterred. It rears back on its hind legs, its mouth opening, whispered tones sliding out alongside of something sharp and unnatural. But then there's the deafening blast of Duke's shotgun, and suddenly it's gone. Duke? Oh my god, what do we do? Okay, first things first, I grab Gretchen. There, step 1 is done. Gretchen is safe. Great. Okay, step 2. What's step 2? So we can scold Stella for causing all... She didn't cause this, but we can do that if we want to be shitty. We can yell at her for freezing, which is never going to go over well. We go after those things. It's what we want. Revenge. You're right. We owe it to Duke to get footage of those things, to show people what's out there. Come on, this way. Stella doesn't wait another moment. She holds Gretchen close and starts running, and you run with her. There are more of them, a lot more of them. They leer at you from the trees, no longer hiding as they bellow their strange calls out into the night. Stella films as she runs, narrating to an invisible audience. We're being, pursued, I think, by these weird things. It seems like they're all riled up from what just happened. The two of you come to a stop at the edge of a clearing. Okay, we seem to have found a nest or a crop circle, but of animals. God, that smell. The air here is flavored with rot, a pervasive stench rising up from the spiral of corpses that patterns the rock. Birdie has been placed among them, her body laying still as the creature crouches protectively over her. Gretchen seems upset, shaking in Stella's arms and whimpering quietly. At the sound of the dog's disquiet, the creatures flow out of the woods and surround the clearing. Dead eyes peer out from pale, doughy faces, watching the two of you and the small, terrified dog. Why aren't they attacking us? I have no idea, but... You know, I think I have enough footage. The two of you take a few steps back from the clearing, then turn and start running together back through the woods, driven by a deep animal instinct to get away from whatever these things are. They're everywhere! God, how many of these things are there? They reach out to you from between bushes and tree branches, grasping for anything they can get a hold of, their howls filling the night. We're almost there. You and Stella reach the main road, and the whispers fade back into the sounds of nature. Sounds like they've stopped following us. I should get reception now that we're back on the main road. Let me find my phone so I can call the sheriff. You feel a buzz in your pocket. 6 missed calls from Tabitha, and 13 text messages. You try and call Tabitha back, but it goes straight to voicemail. You text Tabitha back and let her know you're okay. Your message sits unread. Ooh, I think I'm in trouble. That's a lot of text and missed calls from you-know-who. Maybe Tabby's just worried about you. But first things first, let's call the police. Stella pulls out her phone and dials. Hello, Earl? It's Stella Richmond. I'm up on the mountain on the Asgina Trail. Duke is dead, Earl. Shotgun. It happened right in front of us. There's something in the woods. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I think we're okay, but hurry. Jesus, Earl, who's gonna tell Bo? I guess now we wait. It takes a little while, but eventually a patrol car arrives at the scene. Out of it walk 2 officers, Sheriff Hugby, a friendly older man, and Deputy Franklin, a serious man wearing sunglasses despite it being the middle of the night. See, right there, a thing jumps out of the woods and then the shotgun goes off. What, Sam Hill? What is that, some kind of Pillsbury doughboy? Could be a naked maniac. As the video reveals the creature's nest, Franklin ever so slightly lowers his sunglasses. Or a whole bunch of naked maniacs. I love the naked maniac thing because he just, like, he says it like it's a known phenomenon. The hell is that? Some sort of crop circle? They killed Duke. Uh-huh. Now we're gonna have to confiscate the camera, Miss Richmond, if you don't mind. This is evidence. But, okay. Yeah, let me just turn it off to save the battery. You notice Stella pop something out of the camera and slide it up her sleeve. Here you go, Deputy Franklin. We appreciate your compliance with the law. We'll get a team out in the morning to retrieve the body, but for now, Sheriff Hugby and I... Please, call me Earl. Earl and I will escort you and... Who are you exactly? That's Valeria. She came into town today for the funeral. Valeria is in... Tabitha's cousin, yeah. Damn, didn't think you'd actually show. We'll escort you both back to town. If there's a naked maniac on the loose, it's best you don't walk back here back on your own. Naked maniac. Someone's saying, you're telling me you don't got naked maniacs in your area? So, there was a couple of weeks ago, I was walking, and there was like a lady who was clearly, I don't want to say, I don't know what her deal was, but she was clearly having some kind of an episode, and she was just like saying nonsense things to people on the street, and like wasn't that big of a deal. And then I came home, and about half an hour later, I hear a noise, and she has opened... My front door was like... It didn't quite lock correctly. Like it did that thing where, you know, the door mostly closes, but you have to kind of give it an extra nudge. And she has just randomly tried the door and walked into my house and was like... looking at a picture, like holding it, like she had taken a painting off of, or a poster thing off of the wall and was like looking at it like she was going to take it. And I managed to convince her to leave. And then not very long later, I saw a local post from somebody about how there was a lady like a couple of blocks to the east, was like topless and causing a disturbance. And I remembered that she had been missing clothes. Every single time I had seen her, she had been missing like one more article of clothing. So she was becoming the naked maniac. She was harmless, just having a mental health day or some kind of an episode or possibly a bender. Someone says, damn, that's a tricky situation. Wasn't that... She wasn't, like, scary or anything. There's a dead body in the woods. Those things out there could attack somebody else. Chad didn't think my naked maniac story was funny. Ring camera footage of a guy in a trench coat saying this is his neighborhood, motherfucker. It's just hard when you know you can't help. Yeah, I mean, you live in the city, you kind of just... You have to just kind of have a sense of humor about these things. We only have a skeleton crew at the moment. Monday nights are Deputy Derrickson's bowling nights. We'll be on alert for any more reports of naked maniacs, but retrieving Duke will just have to wait. Now, if you'll kindly step into the vehicle, we can return you safely to your home. Do we have to ride back with you? We can just walk. Those creatures left will be fine. I'm afraid I'm going to have to insist, for your own safety. Stella sighs. Okay, thank you. You can ride up front with me, little lady. That is, if your mama permits. Sure, Earl, you can hold Gretchen on the way back to town. The cops usher you and Stella into the back of their squad car. At this part, I'm always thinking of the Pilot Red Sun video. You're just the cutest little thing, Miss Gretchen. Yes, you are. Sheriff Hugby pats Gretchen on the head affectionately, but she remains wholly focused on Stella, a worried look stretched across her little pug face as Hugby scratches behind her ears. Stella's quiet and stiff next to you, back rigid as she stares out the window, jaw clenched. Hey, Stella, you good? She doesn't respond. Place a comforting hand on Stella's shoulder. She jumps slightly at the touch, but you can feel some of her tension ease, and she lets out a self-soothing sigh. You sit quietly, watching the trees pass by in the light of the headlights. Every now and then you think you see a pale, anguished face staring at you before it slips back into the darkness. Tabitha's traits are keen eye and book smart. Probably. There are several things that make it seem like she definitely has keen eye. And as for book smart, you saw that she appreciated the way that we were, Kitty, that we were using book smart at the house, but also in chapter 3, if you bring her along to the ghost hunt, it becomes evident that she's able to do the thing. I don't want to do this, but we gotta dump the Quaaludes. You two stay out of trouble. We'll have this all sorted out in the morning. Just get a good night's sleep. He's making the same face as Becca does in the mine when she sticks her head through the hole. Oh, could you guys hear Grub? Grub, come here, baby. Come on. Up, up. Come here. You want to come up? Well, okay, you can't just walk around and meow. You gotta jump up in my lap. Come here. Oh, come here, baby. Want to come up? I don't know what you want. Do you want me to stop streaming? Come here. She has to rub her face on every part of the computer desk. Come here, baby. Meow. No, you can come up. Come on. Yeah, there you go. Good baby. Yeah. Oh, baby. Well, she already ate, so I think she's just wants attention. If I stay up too late, she starts complaining that I'm not sleeping. I think if I'm on the computer too long, she wants me to get off. And you, whatever your name was. Fox Mulder? Sure, you're in town for the funeral. Good, good. Don't go leaving before then. I imagine we'll need to ask you a few questions about everything you've seen tonight. I just love the way that Stella like quietly laughs when you say Fox Mulder. Stella, keep an eye on her for us. Make sure she doesn't get any more trouble. Y'all have a good night now. Bye-bye, Gretchy, and y'all have a lovely evening. If any bugaboos give you trouble, you know how to get in touch. And here you are, back in town, away from the woods, with no one but Stella in sight. Holy shit. How are you holding up? How am I holding up? I mean, I'm not great, but I'm more worried about you. I can't believe they just implied that you're a suspect, even after we showed them all that footage. Even after we found that nest. You don't see her get angry very often. I see you get angry all the time. Sometimes you bite me, and then you run away, and then you stare at me. What did I do? Why? She's laying on me and purring and staring at me and her tail is twitching. And I'm very afraid, because this is when it happens. But it's okay. I'm not going to let anything bad happen to you. I was there. I filmed the whole thing. And at the very least, it'll never hold up in court. And I won't get to that point either, because we're going to do a little investigating of our own. We've got to find out more about those things. If we can get clear footage, or better yet, trap one of them, there's no way they can blame me for what happened. What if there's an ending where everything resolves and it's like kind of okay, but then the police show up and arrest you and you go to prison for murdering Duke? The library doesn't open for a while, but I've read every book on cryptids they have and never came across anything like this. There is someone in town who might have some useful information. My friend's mom. Our place isn't far. We should head over now before it gets any later. Let's do it. Awesome, let's go. I hope she's still awake. Stella knocks on the door. Out of the corner of your eye, you spot a shadowy figure staring at you from across the road. You didn't hear it approach. Stella, I think someone's watching us. She turns to look.
There you.
Jesus!
Welcome home.
Before you can respond, the door behind you swings open. An older woman stands in the entryway. Go home, Wayne. I can't help you tonight. You look back and the figure's already gone, disappearing into the shadow of the night. I'm sorry about that, Stella. Some people just can't be helped. What brings you out here so late? And who's this? Hi, Miss Forsyth. This is Valeria. Is it okay if we come in? Of course, of course. You're in luck. I just put on water for hibiscus tea. And for goodness sake, you can call me Sibyl. You're an adult now, after all. Bound Alice says, do you think Sibyl intentionally kept ditchling books out of the library? Is it just a coincidence? I don't really think there were any books. Nobody knows about them except for one miner says that his grandma knew about them. But I think that is implying that they're just a very local phenomena here. Do I think that Sibyl could bane Wayne? Like, snap his back in half? Your eyes can't help but wander toward the plants Sibyl keeps in her tea shop. You recognize two of them as castor bean and oleander. Gruff, what the fuck? Why? What is wrong? She's now like walking in circles in my lap and crying. We have Booksmart and Keen Eye, as you see here on the screen. She's like tracking my hand with her eyes like she's gonna bite. Okay, no, you're scaring me. You gotta get down. You want down? Want up? No. Want to go down? What do you want? Okay. Go on. Good girl. She loves me, but she has, like, mental problems. So sometimes she has to attack, and she's really, really good at attacking. Each plant has its medicinal uses, but each plant used improperly is also extremely poisonous. It's nice to finally meet you, Valeria. I was sorry to hear about your mother. Vivian was such a lovely soul, and she's been sorely missed in the Holler. And now poor Pearl Ann is gone as well. Do let me know if there's anything you need while you're in town. Aren't oleander and castor bean poisonous? Aren't you a sharp one? They very much can be, but don't their flowers bloom in such lovely shades? Oh, you didn't answer me. You just kind of trailed off there. You knew my mom? Of course, dear. She was a good friend of mine for many years. She was such a lovely woman. You should come by sometime. I can delight you with unsavory tales of her youth. Who was that outside? Just a very sick man. You don't need to be worried about him. We need your help. Ah, yes, I suppose pleasantries can wait for another time. What's got you here so late? You seem troubled. You know about weird stuff, right? Unexplainable stuff? Go on. Duke was killed tonight by something in the woods. Oh my lord, have you contacted the police? Yeah, and they didn't take it very seriously. They're not even looking for the body until tomorrow. Those things out there. I don't even know how to describe them. Here, I can show you. Stella pulls out the card she swiped from her camera and pops it into her phone. I wasn't about to just let the police hold on to this, at least not before we had a chance to make a copy. Smooth. Cops would know to do with that footage anyway. Imagine if they accidentally erased it. Exactly. I'll give it to them if they ask again, but for now we can examine the footage for ourselves. Where was this? Up the mountain to the northwest? Within the town limits? Yes. I see. Is there a way to make the video bigger and louder if you can? I need to plug the memory card into a computer. I could go back and get mine. No need. Kanika should still be awake. She can lend us hers. You'd better come with, Stella. I'm sure she'll be more than willing to help a friend than her nosy mother. Astronomy says castor beans obviously for Reese is the oleander which she killed her husband with. And that would make sense, yeah. I think there's also hemlock in there. There's a bunch of things. What kind of poison? Doesn't oleander just have cyanide in it? Let's find out together. Oleander is a poisonous plant because of toxic compounds it contains, especially when consumed in large amounts. Among these compounds are oleandrin and oleandrogenin, also known as cardiac glycosides, which are known to have a narrow therapeutic index and are toxic when ingested. Side effects after ingestion are weakness, diarrhea, nausea, vomiting, headache, stomach pain, and death. Toxicity studies of animals concluded that birds and rodents were observed to be relatively insensitive to the administered oleander cardiac glycosides. Other mammals, however, such as dogs and humans, are relatively sensitive to the effects of the glycosides and have clinical manifestations of glycoside intoxication. It is also hazardous to animals such as sheep, horses, cattle, and other grazing animals, with as little as 100 grams being enough to kill an adult horse. Plant clippings are especially dangerous to horses as they are sweet. In Sanskrit, the plant's name is Asva mata, which is a compound of asva, horse, and mata, killing. So it's the horse killer. Horses when they eat horse killer. The human mortality associated with oleander ingestion is generally very low, even in cases of moderate intentional consumption. It's usually little kids. I think I've read that burning the plant is also dangerous. But it doesn't sound like something that you would have a very easy time using as a weapon against somebody. Kanika's door is covered with stickers, their edges frayed from recent but failed attempts to remove them. This is a childhood room someone was unhappy to return to. Kanika, come on out, we could use a little help. What, Mom? Oh, hey, Stella. I'm Gretchen, who's the good potato? And a stranger. What are you doing in my house? Hi, I'm Valeria. Tabitha's cousin. Oh, great. Sweetie, we were wondering if we could borrow your laptop. Stella and her friend have a video to show us. It's really important, Kanika. Okay. My room's a mess. Let's bring it out there. Heads up, Kanika. This is graphic. Duke got killed out in the woods tonight. It's on the recording. Wait, are you serious? Duke's dead? Silence washes over the room as the video plays. Stella, what the hell is this? I'm sorry either of you had to see this, but Larry and I had no idea how to make heads or tails of it. Stella, are you okay? I'm fine, really, I'm okay. Remain silent. But yeah, we can see Kanika's dad. I always wonder about this, because this is this... Like, is this Sibyl when she was younger? Because she has curly hair now, and I assumed that she would have had curly hair as a kid. Or a younger person, anyway. Poor Duke. Poor Beau. Has anyone told him yet? We talked to the police. I hope they told Beau, but Earl and Deputy Franklin didn't seem to be in much of a hurry to do anything. I'll call him later tonight. But for now, we have something far more serious to discuss. I agree, those things are still out there, and as long as they are, more people are in danger. So very true, but not for the reasons you think. My grandmother used to talk about pale creatures called ditchlings. She always said they were a terrible omen, a sign of suffering to come. Come on, Mom, whatever's going on, whatever's doing this is serious. Stop scaring Stella and Valeria with this taily-po crap. Kanika, sweetie, let your mother talk. She always said they would never hurt people, despite that grisly scene in the woods. But Duke is dead. And if these are ditchlings, his death was an accident, or my grandmother was wrong, and she was very rarely wrong. Just as birds flock before a storm, the ditchlings congregate where tragedy is soon to fall. To see so many in one place. Sibyl holds her silence. Jesus, Mom, haven't they already been through enough? Do we really need the spooky window dressing? What if it's important window dressing? Okay, I know when I'm outnumbered. So I could say it must be part of their life cycle, or I saw something living in that chicken, which we did. I saw something squirming around inside that chicken. Did you see all of those open wounds at that spiraled nest? I'm wondering if they were incubating in the local wildlife. There weren't any growths there. It looked like they'd all popped. Oh dear, I've forgotten entirely about the tea I put on. Let me fix you up a couple of cups. It'll help soothe your nerves. I don't know, it's getting late, and I should let Valeria get some rest. I ran her ragged today with all the hiking and running through the woods in terror. I could stay up. This is important. Okay, maybe it's that I'm eager to get home and start doing some research. I'll ask around on my usual forums to see if anyone has information on ditchlings. Is that what you called them? That's right. You go on home now and try to get some rest. Don't stay up all night on the online. Let me get you some of my house-made peppermint tea to go. It really does wonders to soothe the soul. Bye, Stella. I'll see you tomorrow, okay? And call me if you need to talk. Thanks, Kanika. I'll see you. Bye, Valeria. It's excellent iced or warm, though with the nights getting chillier, warm will probably be best. Helps wake up the bones. Be careful out there, both of you. Sibyl turns and closes the door behind her. Alrighty, let's call it a night. Mind walking me home? And here we are. You're welcome to stay the night if you want. Hell yeah, sleepover. It's been so long since I've had an honest-to-God sleepover. Awesome. If I'm being honest, not being alone tonight is a weight off my chest. It doesn't take long for Stella to fix up the guest room for you. While it's certainly smaller than its counterpart at the estate, it's far better cared for. Hack McMax says cute detail with Gretchen almost tying Stella up with the leash. So Abby does comics and has made a lot of comics, a lot of published comics that have won awards and things. But I think a big part of like comic book art is figuring out how to deliver those like very well realized, very true to life little moments in visuals. Kind of like looking around at Stella's house or at any of the interiors where we see like all these little clues about what the person is like or what their life is like. Make yourself at home. Oh, you didn't have to do all this. You didn't have to worry about that. I'm glad the guest room is finally getting some use. What do you make of all this? Gosh, I don't even know where to begin. Those creatures are out there, and Duke is dead. I know that some of the things Sibyl said were a little wild, but if she is right and they are an omen, maybe we can change things and stop whatever's brought them here before it happens. Yeah, it couldn't hurt to poke around town. I have the time. Agreed. So, I should probably try calling Tabitha. Right, she'd probably like to know you're not dead. Get some restful, Larry. I'll see you in the morning. You pull out your phone and call your cousin. It rings for a moment before she picks up. Where the hell have you been? I called you back as soon as I had reception. Did you? I didn't notice. Boy. So I think, anything that, like, really worries her will be bad. I met this girl in town. We hit it off. We went on this night hike to find cryptids. Ah, so you met Stella then. Ah, that explains everything, and she's gotten you all worked up. I'm going to bed. I'll collect you tomorrow. From the comfort of Stella's guest bed, the events of the past evening seem like something that happened to someone else, though you can still clearly picture the terror you felt in those moments, for now you're safe and you're warm. Eventually the sun will rise and chase away the monsters and make them seem like nothing but bad dreams. Maybe tomorrow, if you're lucky, you'll wake up in the normal world and have a relaxing week in the mountains with a new friend. It's a nice thought, but deep down you can't help but worry that things will only get worse. From behind closed doors, you can faintly hear the sounds of quiet sobs. Yeah, I love Tabitha's word choice always makes me laugh, especially when she's mad. Because when she's mad, it's like she's channeling Pearl Ann and like not even really speaking the way that she would speak. So especially in the chapter 5 scene, some of the stuff she says is almost feels uncharacteristic, even though she hasn't exactly been nice the whole game. It's really well done. Okay, Grub. Grub's back. All right. So I think I'm going to call it there for the evening. Luke Wilson says, "I really hope we get to have a conversation with the alpacas in chapter 6 if we have talks to animals." Pastor Daniel mentions that they're Catholic. They know what that is somehow, which is very funny. Ubi151, is Wayne the entity being summoned? Yes. Yes, he is. In a sense, it's not super straightforward, but right, I will drop a save somewhere. Like 30 pages of saves. 40 pages of saves. Okay. Hack Big Mac says, "I think Wayne contains the entity, or at least a portion of it. Each of the stones contains a portion of the entity, and Wayne is essentially the 6th stone." All right. Birds know the truth of the afterlife, and Dan doesn't like it. Good night, everybody. Watch out for Naked Maniac.